Fantastic. Happy New Year, everybody. Like Lincoln mentioned, he said something about New Year's resolutions. I imagine there's probably a few of you out there that have given yourself a New Year's resolution this year. The most popular New Year's resolution is to lose weight. And if you are doing that New Year's resolution, good on you for coming to a barbecue joint this early in the new year. That's fantastic. But if you're in the middle of it right now and you think you can't do it, I just some advice. Go for it, because I used to be a fat guy myself, so if I could do it, anybody else could do it themselves. Because I was chair breaking big. So if anybody ever offered me a seat in anything made out of plastic or wicker, that was like a no thanks, I'm gonna stand kind of moment, always. Patio furniture, 100% out of the question. I was just to give you an idea how big I was. You get those coupons in the mail, like 2 can dine for $9.99. That just meant I could dine for $9.99. But I wasn't so big that I needed a rag on a long stick to wipe my ass, or heavy machinery to move me around. But I was big enough. I broke a chair on an airplane once, just trying to recline it. I nearly killed the 7-year-old girl sitting behind me. Nearly crushed her to death. You're on an airplane, you figure you're going to die. It's because you're plummeting from 35,000 feet, not because the fat heavyset man in front of you decided he wanted to take a load off. But there I was, every mother's dream child, a 370-pound, 28-year-old virgin. Thank you for that, by the way, ladies. Appreciate it. So being the rational Christian man I was at the time, I thought, I'm going to go to JC for advice here. Jenny Craig called me a fat bastard and told me to die. So I did. And here I am. I've been thin for a while. It's been pretty successful. I like it. But now, I'll look back on my days of being a fat guy, and I'll realize that I sort of missed some pretty big red flags that should have told me to go on a diet sooner. Bigger than, even breaking chairs on an airplane. If you're circling days on your calendar in anticipation of bacon going on sale at the local A&P, that's a sign. That really is. You get on a roller coaster and the safety bar comes down, click, 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 click. Every click being that reassuring click of safety. If you only get one of those clicks, that is a definite sign. This is a true story. Skyrider, 1997, Canada's Wonderland. The stand-up coaster, if you guys have ever been there. I get on right at the front with my buddy Steve. I bring the safety harness around me. I get one click. Now the 16-year-old summer student they've hired that year to hustle people into the ride, he hears this distinctive one-click noise, and he comes running over. Now, his first course of action to remedy this situation is to reef on the safety bar to get a few extra clicks out of it. Now, unfortunately for the 16-year-old, he was no match for my side boob that day. And his mission went unaccomplished. So not knowing what to do, he looks up at the 17-year-old that is now running the ride, who last year was the 16-year-old scooting people into it, and now is qualified enough to have my life in his hands. He looks up at him and he does this. Now the 17-year-old, he looks down at him and gives him what I can only describe as the least reassuring vote of confidence you'll ever see in your entire life, ever. He looks down at him and he does this. And then he hits the go button. I spent that entire initial climb up the roller coaster looking for soft places to land because I was pretty sure this fucker was going to eject me from it at some point in time. I don't know who was happiest that I came back attached to that ride. Me or the 2 summer students running it. Now you'd figure, as far as red flags go, hey, Mark, man, you barely fit inside something that was designed to hold 99% of the world's adult population. Maybe you should lose a few pounds. Nope, went right over my head. The first thing I did when I got off that roller coaster? I got myself a funnel cake to calm my brain. That's true story. But so now that I'm thin, like I said, I look back on my days being fat, and even though I've been this way for a while, I still I think like a fat guy. And sometimes when I'm up here, I feel like I got to speak on behalf of fat people that can't speak for themselves. And I got a couple of things. I got to the thin people out there, like, stop giving your fat friends, like, shitty image advice. Seriously, because you do. You give your fat friends the worst advice on image. Because you never tell us how to become thinner. You just tell us how to look thinner. So instead of saying something like, hey, Mark, maybe you shouldn't eat that second pizza. You'll say something to be like, hey, Mark, you know what? You should wear a shirt with thick vertical stripes and a wide tie. That way, you'll appear taller and thinner than you really are. Look, man, I'm not about to dress up like a walking optical illusion just to satisfy your senses. And by that rationale, if I just used a bigger knife and fork, I could convince you I'm eating less anyway. Okay, guys, that was fun.